Welcome. Welcome, everybody, all together, all at once. It is Wednesday night, and we are live with you from Ginger's Barn. Brother Chris Coot and myself, the JP Cormier dude guy, and it's Strang Theory, Wednesday night. An immediate shout out to my friends in Mississippi who are watching right now.
Nice.
There's a lot of people down there that watch. And we're going to take a moment just to mention all of our great partners. Boucher Levy's G&G Music, The Guitar House, Brickhouse Guitars, Acoustic Shop, E. Parkway Music, K&K Sound, Gallagher Guitars, Alvarez, there you go. Alvarez Yeri, St. Louis Music, Yamaha, Close Guitars, Cody Guitars, D'Addario, Apollo Picks, Epiphone Gibbs and Blue Chip Picks, Tone Slab, LR Bags, Maestro Hosen Guitars, George Crackett, Emerald Guitars, SPCA, Charmed Life Picks, Picker's Grip, Canard Guitars, Edmondson, Shenmo, Flamang, Cirrus.
Is your record stuck?
Record Banjos, Deering Banjos, Bedell, Breedlove, Bromo, Dreamwood, our newest buddy down in Tennessee, and Loudon, who we've just added arbitrarily because they don't care.
So you're just gonna?
I love them.
They sue you.
I love them. So yeah, George, you're in.
You're in. What happened there?
I don't know.
It was like the needle was skipping.
Well, actually, this would be a file that was taken from an actual LP of mine.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty old. It's an old record.
Nice outro.
We won't talk about it.
I don't even know how you read that.
Me neither. It's getting mighty small because there's so many on it
Yeah.
now. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
We're minus the ginger. She's out making the donuts.
That's right. So it's just me and you.
Yep.
Doggos are in the house.
Yep. Jack and Jill are in the house.
Jack's resting. He's getting old and sick. And
Yeah.
he's not really as mobile as he used to be. We had a bunch of snow here last night, so
Yep.
coming up the stairs for him is not very good.
And the night before.
And the night
It's
before.
a winter. If I may, it's a winter fucking wonder fucking land.
Yes. And we are not happy about it.
We're a little bit down in the dumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are things going with you? You got a lot of time off just now, don't you?
I do. I'm having a nice little break, and I'm catching
You
up
work
in
hard.
the workshop on all the electronic things and instrument things and
We have some things to show here. tonight.
amplifier things
Which
and
will
all
be
the
fun.
things. Yeah. I'm
And,
enjoying being home and just being around the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's well? I
Everybody
take it.
well?
There's lots of people on here already.
Yes.
It's scary.
Kenny's with us tonight.
Yeah. There's all kinds of people here. Buddy McDonald's
Cheers,
here. Buddy McDonald's here.
Really, Buddy McDonald's
Love you,
here.
buddy.
Hey,
Damn it.
buddy. Yeah, buddy.
So, I guess I'm going to jump into a couple of questions first.
Before Capo Corner.
Yeah, because I have a sort of a unique. We
unique
have a sort of
Yeah.
unique one that I want to
That's
talk
true.
about. So here, just going to say shout out to all the people here. Cajun Queen is here.
Yeah.
Larry Reindress.
Hey,
Love you, Larry.
local Larry.
You know,
Brother.
Larry writes me almost every day, and just
Checks in.
words of encouragement.
Yeah.
And I love you, Larry.
Larry's one of the
You're
most positive people I know.
The guy has no
Yeah.
negativity in him at all.
The
It's just
only
like
negative thing about Larry is even though he lives like 20 minutes
He
away,
never comes down
He
to see
never
us.
comes down to Wednesday night to
he will though. He'll
share
come
some
back.
fellowship with us.
Andy A, who's down in Saltillo, Mississippi.
Woo!
Love you, man.
Mississippi.
And he asked a question about what's the deal with about being able to order the new album. Well, you go to AtlanticMusicStore.com, AtlanticMusicStore.com, and I'm the first thing on the page. And you can order it now. It'll go anywhere in the world now. There were so many orders so quickly that it blew up the friggin' switchboards board, so they had to go in and fix a bunch of stuff so that it could be shipped everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check it out, AtlanticMusicStore.com. Mark Smith is in.
Hey,
Mark Andrews is in. Hello from Denver.
Ooh.
Terry Hines is in, Kenny Holden, Ryan Miller, Mark Andrews, Stephen Baker. Aloha,
Yeah.
folks.
Hey, so it's E.
And the first super chat, but from Colin Dolan, all the
Hey.
way from Ireland. Ireland. They're watching us in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Fiddly-dee potatoes.
Fiddly-day potatoes. Colin Dolan says, "Hi JP, what do you think of Takamine guitars?" Well, I love using them as planters, is what I usually do.
They make great pub guitars.
Yes, they make, yeah.
Because when the beer and the
pour all over them.
they're very stout.
I actually can't shit on Takamine.
No.
Because does everybody here know, if you're familiar with my discography, Another Morning was recorded on a Nashville Takamine, a high-end custom order tack. So I've used them all my life, but the only thing is that they will not switch to a 1 3/4 inch nut, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
They're still using 1 11/16, and they after a while, other pickup systems started to sound better than them.
Yeah.
At one time, Takamine was the shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only thing that was out there that actually was indestructible. You could just plug it in, and it sounded better than the last king of that hill, which was Ovation.
Yeah.
Right?
They're very in a band situation.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
They really cut through a mix.
If you can get your fucking fingers in, the necks are so narrow I can't play them.
3 F-bombs tonight.
Yeah, well,
so
whatever.
You're right. They're indestructible.
Zach,
they go forever.
Zach Clement says, "First time watching, gents. Time to grab a beer." Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Lee says, "I have just purchased the Boucher limited edition Triple O and the LEOM. Nice."
Mm-hmm.
Terry Short. I shot the line, bought the Boucher private stock SG 161. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So,
well, you won't be very happy with those.
No, you'll be disappointed mostly for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I should have bought a tack.
Yeah, you should have bought a tack or a something. Anything else but that.
Esteban.
An Esteban, real wood tone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a different capo corner. This is really different. So I'm going to tell you a story. We consciously decided, quite a while ago that we weren't really going to get into politics on this channel, because that's the last thing that really anybody wants to think about at this time. And the problem with that is every single day I get contacted by people in America who are worried, and they love us and we love them. And so today I got a call, and I hope he's watching, but he probably isn't, because he's so fucking busy building guitars that probably doesn't have time to watch this nonsense. But I got a call about an hour ago from David Mathis at Gallagher Guitars. And it wasn't the first phone call I've got from him this year. He has called me a couple of times before, basically just worried about, the company, the reputation of the company, whether, Canadians are going to still stand behind him, whether I'm going to still stand behind him, and all these things, right? And I've already told all the people down there, and you all know who you are. There's millions of you that we're not mad about Americans.
No.
We're not mad at people at all. And as a nation, and I'm not talking about me and Chris, I'm talking about this country. And so I had a long talk with Dave, and I just told him all these things that are going on right now, they are what they are, but you can't let it slip through the chinks in your log house. You can't let it in the house. keep it out of the house because it'll all be gone at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have to remain vigilant, to for the moment when we can jump back across and touch hands with these people.
We're in for some strange times.
We are in for some strange times.
Yeah.
And I hung up the phone with him, and I was feeling pretty emotional because this is a guy who I reached out to in the depths of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and they had nothing. They didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. Robin talked to me about reaching out to an American builder to sponsor me and to work with me the same as he does here in Canada. And so David was the guy I called. And it's become an amazing friendship over all these years. There's a J.P. Cormier signature model Gallagher. There's hours and hours and miles spent together on the road doing trade shows and working there at the shop. And they've just been an unbelievable source of inspiration for me, as well as every other builder that's down there. I could make a list of them, Cirrus and Kennard and Edmondson and Dreamwood, Virgil Lawson that just came on board. Like, there's so many great people down there. And so when I came in the house, I wrote this song. I'm going to sing it for you. And I hope you'll like it. If you don't like it, it's tough. Each day I wake and raise the blinds. Another morning there to find. The sky is silent, deep and red, just like the rivers in my head. It's hard to say why things have changed. Friendship lost and rearranged. I don't want to see that flag like a torn in tatters robber's bag. And I know that it should hurt me much less than it does. But sometimes we are stricken by the wicked just because. Once we were all brothers, will it be again? Standing by the ramparts, hand in hand until the end. That morning we left Washington. With the war just ended, we had won. We heard history speak our name as we watched the White House fall in flames. And now we wonder where we are. Do we hear the drums on hills afar? Will Canada be called again to fight down to the bitter end? And I know that it should hurt me much less than it does. But sometimes we are stricken by the wicked just because. Once we were all brothers, will it be again? Standing by the ramparts, hand in hand until the end. And now we wonder where we are. Are those drums I hear from afar? Will Canada be called again to fight down to the bitter end? Will Canada be called again to fight down to the bitter end? We'll fight down to the bitter end. That's for my buddy David Mathis.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who's just
As baffled as we are.
baffled.
Yeah.
Baffled and lonely and wondering. And I don't think anybody's really that scared. It's just
No.
too pissed off to be scared. We hope you're well, wherever you are. We don't care who you are, where you are. We still love you. Canada loves you.
Yep.
All right? So, and especially my brother David and all my builder buddies down there, Stephen Kennard and Steve Sheriff and David and George Crackett and Virgil Lawson and MJ Franks. There's just so many of them. Mm-hmm. They're all my brothers.
Yep.
And that's why I wrote that song.
Shit'll get squared away. Yeah, it will.
Yep. There we go, boys and girls.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. Cooch is back. Clarence J says, JP speaks for us all Canadians. I love my American brothers and sisters, and no amount of dum-dums and suits can change that.
Yep. It's a good way to put it. Dum-dums and suits.
That was spectacular. Thank you for that, Mark Andrews. Great tune. Well said, man. Corey McCormick, awesome. Victoria Willis, love that song, John. So, yeah. That might make it into the show, that song. We're looking for a way to say what I need to say. I mean, that's it.
Yep.
So, let's move on to other electronic things.
Well, you want to do that now, or do you want to take some questions?
Well, I mean, there's no questions right now, so...
Okay. Maybe we should just sit here and have a beer together.
I think we could.
Yeah.
You know what else we could do?
What?
Is have a little bit of this
Lagavulin.
Because this is Lagavulin.
Just barely scratch the surface of that glass for me.
This is Lagavulin.
Good.
That's all you need of that stuff.
Yeah, it's my favorite scotch.
It is very good. Smells like victory.
I'm enjoying that right now. Oh, smoky, peaty.
Oh, I'm enjoying that as well right now.
That's super.
It's just hitting all my enjoyment buttons.
It's just like having some Schvetty balls at Christmas.
That's right. It's very good. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Super good.
I just ordered Chinese food.
Who said that?
3-card Monty. One wing missing from Peking duck, and Poo Poo platter only had poo. Oh, my God.
Oh, dear. I just ordered Chinese food. For certain.
Yeah, so let's talk about magic.
Magic?
Mr. Coot has some very cool stuff here. Well, not stuff, one thing that's really a part of music history that we don't even really think about.
Oh.
And tell him the story about where this came from and what you had to do to get it back to primo condition as it is now.
As you know, I used to use one of these.
Oh, yeah.
On the road all the time.
Yeah.
For tuning guitars.
This is a Conn strobe tuner.
Yeah, an ST11.
Which was eventually bought by Peterson, right?
Yeah, Conn
invented
this part
shit.
of the Conn business.
Yeah, Conn invented all this stuff.
Yeah, back in the 1930s.
Yep.
They came up with the first strobe tuner, and anybody who played an instrument in school, in band, they played a Conn trumpet or trombone or tuba, right?
They were the
saxophone.
biggest band instrument company ever
in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where were they from?
Elkhart, Indiana.
Elkhart, Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They, in about 1938, they started making a strobe tuner. Mm-hmm. And then in the 50s and 60s, they updated their models. And this was like a mid-1970s model. But Neil Young used these. The Stones
One
used
for each
these.
string.
Yeah, Neil Young had 5 of them on stage. Each switched to a different note.
Yeah.
So that he could just turn around and look at them. He didn't have to touch it or do anything. Allison Krauss, Union Station, there's always 1 or 2 of these on stage.
Yep.
For the boys tuning.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. And I sold mine years ago after I kind of came off the road full time. And I always regretted it because there's nothing more accurate than a strobe tuner with a spinning wheel in it.
Yep.
And it's about 100 times more accurate than any electronic tuner.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the thing for
we just tested
doing
it.
Intonation. Yeah.
Yeah. It really is crazy.
Do you want to plug this into that guitar and just dial through it quick?
Yeah.
So you can use a microphone with it, or you can
plug directly.
You can plug right in.
See, this was a thing that we didn't have for acoustic guitars back when this was built.
No.
Now you have really high-end piezo pickups and guitars that'll transmit this note to that thing very well.
So I'm on an E right now, and it's a spinning wheel with a pattern on it, and it's backlit by some neon lamps.
And that one's dead on.
Yeah. Here, I'll get you an A.
A.
There's an A.
Dead on.
Yeah.
And the harmonic. Let's try the harmonic A.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. There you go.
Dead on.
Yeah.
What is this?
D.
Dead on.
Dead on.
So this is a way, using something like this can show you whether or not your intonation on your guitar is good, because we did it earlier and one of these notes was out. Like, what note are we on now? D?
We're on G right now.
G. So there's the harmonic G, which is
a little flat.
But
that's going to be flat too, yeah?
This will be more flat.
Yeah.
So the intonation on this guitar is slightly flat, but it's not because of the guitar. It's the strings are so dead. I play the crap out of them. Right? They go flat.
Within seconds.
Yeah. So this is a great way to tell if your guitar is set up well. To tune all the open strings to it, then tune the harmonics to it, and then tune the closed notes at the 12th fret will show you whether or not the intonation is dead on or not, right?
Yeah. And it's just funny because a mid-1970s transistorized instrument
which can do any better than any pedal or any clip-on.
with an electric motor spinning a little disc and a neon light flashing behind it is so
crazy.
Dead accurate.
I love looking at it. It's very hypnotic.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a mic on them, too. So when I was a kid and playing in the bluegrass festivals in the States, these were always backstage.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everybody would walk up to that thing in tune, and they'd be in tune for the whole damn show. And if they didn't have a con, you'd notice, I told you earlier today, you'd notice overall that bands weren't as in tune.
Yeah.
If they didn't have that sitting backstage, because if they didn't have that, people were either using those black and silver round pitch pipes. We used to use those that came in the little red plastic case.
Yeah.
Or, other than that, there was tuning forks. Everybody would just
an A440
fork and hold it on the guitar. That's how Tony Rice tuned his guitar for his entire life.
Our buddy Miles Gallagher has one in his truck.
Yeah.
And uses it to tune his guitar.
So, like, this was a massive leap forward with ease and accuracy, right? There was no doubt with this.
No.
You could see it. It was, I mean, I'm sure you were using your ears as well, but you could see for sure if it was in tune or not.
These and the Peterson models now that are the modern, more modernized versions of this, they're still used by guitar techs out on major tours worldwide.
I even have a pedal.
They're so immune to the noise of working on a concert stage because you're plugged right into the instrument.
Even with a mic, they're immune.
You use the mic will pick up a lot more if you're plugged right in.
Well, the cheaper the mic, the less it picks up. Yeah. Right. We used to use those old friggin' Radio Shack tiny mics with that plastic mics about that long with the little feet on it, and you just sit on the table.
Yeah.
That's what we use with that.
Well, I've always missed having one since I sold it. I've regretted selling it.
Well, now you have
one. I picked one up broken.
Yeah.
And it's all calibrated and fully functional and rebuilt, and I'm pleased to have it in the stable. So that's going to take us down some good rabbit holes of intonation, tempering.
Yep.
So you'll be seeing some more of this on the Speak and the Tech Talk.
We'll use that to illustrate how tempering is actually done.
Yeah.
And
it'll also be great to have it out at gigs, just sitting there, backstage or side stage, so that you can just grab a cord and plug it in and give something a tweak.
I wish there was a way for me now in these days to have something like that on stage, but it's hard because everything is so immediate, and you switch capos and Dave's introducing the next song. You got no time. It's just hit the pedal and try to get that thing in tune. Basically, and I don't even use. He uses his pedal for the whole
thing
tuning process.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I don't trust it.
No. You tune
That I would
you tune
trust.
the G and then tune everything off
Yeah,
the G.
that I would trust.
Yeah.
I would look at that and go ding, 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 and get
Yeah.
all 6 strings and hope for the best. But
Amazing though, 100 times
oh yeah,
more accurate than a tuner. And the problem isn't the tuners aren't accurate. It's the displays on the modern tuners
yeah,
don't have the resolution
Yeah, they don't have the
that
pixels.
this has. Yeah.
they don't have any way of showing how accurate that is
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
They're,
Exactly.
they're as accurate, but they can't display it.
Yeah.
That's weird. Eh?
Yeah.
Same thing with the needle on a snark or anything. They're not accurate.
It's
It's accurate, but
it doesn't
can't
have the
show,
resolution. Yeah.
No, can't show really how far off
Yeah.
440 you are. It stops in the middle, and you hope for the best.
Yeah.
But I've seen those things tune guitars just horrendously.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, they're picking up harmonics and everything coming up the neck,
Yeah.
right?
Some of them are hearing.
Or are we keeping you
Yeah,
up?
we are. So some of them are hearing. Some of those things here,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them are using vibration. I think those two things are completely different. You know, it's
Yeah.
like when you walk out of a room, music goes down a quarter step.
Oh, you mean walking away from it?
Yeah.
You think of the Doppler effect?
Yeah. So when you come back in the room, your brain's going, this is low, but then you come back in, oh, it's higher than I thought. Right? The same thing. It's the same thing with using a microphone from 3 feet away or using the vibration of the wood of the headstock. I can't see how those two things coalesce.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
We
right?
definitely demand a lot of our
Do we ever?
modern electronic
Do we
tuners.
ever?
Yeah.
That's why Dave uses. Most people use. I use snarks because they're easy.
Yeah. But Dave's plugged into his.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
There's no question
Yeah.
that he's actually getting the note, right? So, yeah, cool. Good one, man. That was, I guess that was Geek Speed. The Geek Speed.
That was,
Nerd Turd. Okay. Let's see here. There's lots of people. Chinese food.
Did you get his Chinese food?
Yeah, I think you did. So they enjoyed that. Steve Shirley put the super chat in there says great song, JP. Thank you, Steve. Norman and Ben. Norman and Ben.
Norman Aben. Norm Aben.
Norm Aben. Yeah, right.
Norm
Jesus.
Aben.
I'm not used to reading these. Ginger does. Yeah.
The heck is wrong with her?
Graham Campbell says that tuner also looks like it could detect Martian invasion.
It's a heavy piece of gear.
Sheila S. What guitar should I take with me when I move to the Caribbean? Well, you got to take something that has huge resistance to humidity and heat.
Yeah.
So take it close.
Yeah.
And if you want to get really fancy, take an emerald.
Mm-hmm.
But take a carbon fiber instrument because
Yeah.
it'll never fail you. Also, I'm going to be reviewing the new Enyas, which are all carbon fiber stuff, at even lower price than the Close, and they're amazing. I got one in the house, their little mini one, and yeah, anything carbon fiber.
The Close is nice.
That's
'cause
what
you
I
can
would
get
do.
the one that folds up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I love my.
Oh,
I got the Deckyons. I
muffin.
got that. I got my Close. I'll never part with that thing. I've even had it on the road, and it's wicked because it just never goes out of tune. Never moves. It never does. You just pull it out, it's like, bleh, and it's
It's folded up and it's
yeah. And they install their Fishman electronics really well, and it sounds good. It's not a bad install.
It's an amazing sounding guitar.
It is. For what it is, it's unbelievable for what that thing is. It's just a carbon shell, really well made.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want.
Backs you up if your motor conks out. You can use it as a
That's
paddle.
right. I tuned my guitar to a 1970s crystal radio. That was 3-card Monty.
On the AM
Yeah.
band. Yeah.
David Boyd says, "Hey JP, you're coming to Gallagher Fest." Unfortunately, I'm not. I have already announced to the world that I will not be traveling to the U.S. for the foreseeable future.
We actually have a government notice.
Yeah, we're not
Warning us
we're
against
they're
traveling
telling
to
us
the
not
US.
to go there now. So
I mean, I go there all the time with work, but
Yeah,
that's a little.
You're fairly safe inside an airport, hopefully.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I won't be there, and I love you, and I'm sorry I won't be there, but I won't. So it's too bad. What do you think about the Peterson clip-on strobe tuner? So I was just mentioning I have the pedal version. It's like the gold limited edition.
Yeah.
Costs $350.
And it's got the LCD version of
which
the
again,
stroboscope.
is not near as graphically
accurate.
limber, agile
Yeah.
to show that.
Yeah.
It tries, but
Yeah.
same idea.
But it's the same presentation. It's
but it never looked like that.
No,
it'll sort of look
it'll
like
move
that.
back and forth for you.
Yeah.
Right? To tell you when you stop the pattern that you're in tune. Yeah. But Peterson has a whole range out because they're kind of trying to recreate this.
But they are nice. I got one and I love it. Actually, it's got so many tricks and tweaks and added switches and cable.
There's firmware in the thing, like you can update
it has cable,
diagnostics in it.
No, it ignores cabling.
Okay.
It has a preamp in it, so if your cable is more than 10 feet, it preamps the channel, the plug, so that when you go in, you're not losing signal as it goes out of the tuner.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn cool. I love that. Let's see. Here's an interesting one. Adam K says, "Hey JP, I have an Epiphone Hummingbird. Beautiful guitar.
Yep, love the Hummingbird.
It has volume tone controls under the sound holes. It's a Fishman, and a wire goes to the pickup of the bridge.
Yep.
The wire is too long and rubs against makes
a noise. Yes, absolutely.
What is the fix? Well, the fix is to put clamp fasteners, glue in, stick on,
double-sided tape.
Stick on clamps.
Yeah.
Clamp fasteners.
And coil that up inside and get it in a couple fasteners.
Yeah. It's like a little metal, two little metal teeth, and you can put the wire in there and close it shut. Somebody
didn't do that
in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Where that was built, probably.
Yeah. Or if it's not new to you, somebody that was in the guitar.
Yeah. Shit the bed and didn't put the wiring up tight up against everything.
Yeah.
It's probably only going to take that one little clippy thing. Costs 3 cents. So, yeah, try that, or just take it any shop and say, I just need my wires cleaned up, and they'll go in and put them where they have to be.
They'll tie them up for you so they don't move.
Mark Smith.
Hey, Mark.
Super chat. I love you, buddy. 2-part question for both of you. Fine lads. That requires a drink of Lagavulin.
It's a nice little.
It is.
Mark's coming in to record later this month.
This is great. Pete.
Mark is coming in to record later this month.
Yeah, he is. I have him on the schedule.
Nice.
2-part question for both of you fine lads. What is your opinion on Myers PUs for fiddles, and would a Fishman Artist Loud Box be a good choice? So I have both things, and as far as I can tell, I never use it live, but the Myers stuff seems to be really good, and I'm assuming you're talking about the clip-on microphones that they have that cost dick.
Mm-hmm.
They cost $70 or something, and they appear, from what I've tried, they appear to be really, really good, like unnaturally good for such a cheap piece of equipment.
I haven't seen one on a fiddle before.
Oh, that's where I discovered.
Or I have seen one on a fiddle, but I don't know if I knew it was a Meyer.
Yeah, that's where I discovered them, was for fiddle.
It's ringing a bell that...
they come in a little blue neoprene purse.
I'm thinking that they also make them that go on flutes as well.
Yes.
And
they make woodwind and whatnot. Yes.
And Sue's sister Jennifer's flute, she bought one.
Yeah.
A Meyer.
Yep.
That's why it's ringing a bell. And right out of the bag, it didn't work.
Really?
Yeah. So that's the only thing.
That would make sense because it's mass produced,
Yeah.
But I have one. It's in the house. I've tried it on fiddles.
Yeah.
I was blown away. It sounds I would say it sounds almost as good as a DPA.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it's better than a DPA because it doesn't feed back as much. It's more rejective of because it doesn't have the frequency response of a
Right.
DPA. So just luckily, the frequency response it does have is all the sweet spot of the violin.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on where you point it and stuff, and it's got a carpenter jack, it comes on a carpenter jack with everything, and then the mic just sticks
Clamps
off.
on. Yeah.
So, yeah, if that's what you're talking about, I think that's a pretty goddamn good combo. That
Yeah.
with the Fishman.
You can't go wrong with the Fishman loud.
No, Fishman loud boxes are fucking shit. They're the best.
Unless something
best.
goes wrong, and then you've got to send it back
To him.
No, you got to send it back to them because
Well,
they won't share any of their.
Yeah, but
their
you
gain.
still fixed it without them.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Q can fix them. The one that we use up here for all the guitar stuff with John videos is what he rebuilt.
Yours is the only failure that I've ever seen on one of those.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I've been using them for 20 years and never saw
Yeah.
one yet, ever fail.
Yeah.
And that was my fault.
And it was one tiny transistor.
Yeah.
It's still glued. It's still stuck to the
Yeah,
top
we
of
kept it
the
under a piece of clear tape.
Yeah.
But the way that I did that was I had a Sennheiser wireless system attached to it, plugged in, and it was dead. So I plugged in the transmitter while that was attached to the amp, and
Right.
it burnt that little thing out.
Mm.
There was a brief surge of energy, of electricity going up there somehow. I've seen it happen before. Seen pianos catch on fire that way. And but other than that, never had a single thing
No.
ever.
And they're pretty true sounding on stage.
So Terry Poirier, this is an interesting question. I love Terry. Terry would be, of course, Eddie Poirier's son. Terry is one of the greatest upright bass players on the entire fucking planet. And trust me, I know. I played with him. He lives in Kentucky. He moved down there years and years ago and married a nice girl down there. And I think he's still down there, anyhow. But he says, wondering if looking back the songs will ever get on the streaming services. The answer is yes. We are going to be starting to put more of the albums up on streaming. But actually, like for right now, I've got the new guitar album, which, again, 50 years of guitar. If you buy it tonight or any time between now and the time I get physical copies, it's on sale right now at AtlanticMusicStore.com. You can buy it there, shipped right to your house, anywhere you are in the world, for only $15. It's going to go up to $20 once we get the hard copies in our hands. So make sure you go and buy one, because it's a great album. It's got 24 sides. Instrumentals from the time I was 5 years old until now. The whole history of my guitar life is all recorded. Of course, I wish I had recorded myself when I was a little baby, but we didn't have the technology. But all the music that changed my life and sort of dictated where my career went is all on this record. And also, might as well plug Master Music Method too. If you want to learn how to pick, mastermusicmethod.com. It's $25 a month only in Canada and $20 in the U.S. and or anywhere else in the world.
That opens up everything on it.
Oh yeah, it's been growing in leaps and bounds, and we're building on it every week. And so yeah, mastermusicmethod.com if you need get your lessons on. If you want to hear the new album, 50 Years of Guitar, AtlanticMusicStore.com. $15.
Sudsy has rejigged all that, hasn't
Yes,
he?
he has.
Yeah.
Sudsy is actually in charge of all that stuff.
He just migrated my website over and redid it in my email. He's got his claws into us.
Oh yeah. Steve Max is hi JP from London. I don't know if that's England or Ontario, but either one. Question, Corey McCormick. Question for you, gents. What inexpensive amp would recommend that has a built-in looper?
Ooh,
I don't know. But I know they exist.
Oh, yeah.
And a matter of fact, I think the guy that makes them is Boss.
With a built-in looper.
Yeah, I think that
Would have to
Boss
have a
or
foot,
Line
It would have
6.
to have a foot pedal on
It
it.
does.
Yeah.
I think Line 6 makes one as well, but Boss, I'm almost positive Boss makes a looper on their amp. Also, Black Star. Try that one too. But I've seen one recently that had a looper on board. And I thought, I don't really need that, so I didn't even try to do it, right?
You're not a looper kind of dude.
I am, but if I ever bought a looper, be game over. Because I would just be doing it all the time.
You would run out of loops.
I would
You would
buy,
have all the toys all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the way. Because I've been looping all my life in the studio, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do, is overdub. That's
Yeah.
how I make all my records. So if I was able to do that live and even show the audience how it's being done, like what's his face there? What's his name?
Ian
Sheeran?
Sherwood.
No.
No?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Yeah,
His fucking whole career is based on a looper. He
Yeah.
has his own signature looper now. Right? It's a big giant. It's crazy. He's got 4 million whatevers and 5 fucking days of hard drive and yeah. If I had something like that, I would be out of control. I'd be out of control. You'd never want to see another
You're
one
out
of
of
my
control as it is.
show. I know, but just leave me alone. Okay.
What does it matter with you? I'm
I
going to have to
don't
cancel
know.
you.
Cajun Queen.
I'm going to have to cancel my subscription.
You've been trying to do that for 30 years. It never worked yet, so fuck off.
I think that's 4.
4, okay,
5.
sorry, yeah. 5.
Cajun Queen.
Yeah, I had a Fishman Mini fail last year.
Yeah.
Fishman fixed it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think they just replaced the whole circuitry.
Nice.
They're nice people.
Yeah.
Fishman and all those guys, like those people are really nice.
Yeah.
If you're using their product, they're going to help you. You know, unless something really bizarre happens, they're going to help you.
In the MI world, it's. I think we think these companies are a lot bigger than a lot of them are. There's a lot of them that it comes down to, a dozen or 20 or 30 people behind some of these names that we've known for years and years.
So here's a good question. It's not a super chat, but I don't care because that's one of the reasons I like doing this part myself. It's a little harder because Ginger's not here. But Steve Mack says, "Why do you like K&K pickups so much?" Well, okay, there's a bunch of reasons, but the two main ones are there's no battery.
Yeah, no battery.
No battery.
No.
And because the other big reason is there is no way for the system to fail.
Unless it's the cabinet jack. In the
The
engine
jack
jack
could fail.
Yeah, and we've had that
chances
once.
of that are so slim.
Yeah.
The pickup
Reliability.
itself,
Yeah.
once
Also
it's super glued to your bridge plate, it ain't going anywhere.
And it
There
doesn't
is-
change.
No, it never changes. The volume of all the strings remains the same no matter what happens. Because it's not listening to that. It's listening to the bridge plate. It's not listening to the saddle slot.
Right.
Which is a fucking nightmare because the saddle slot could have anything in it. It could be concave or convex, or it's got grain going through it that doesn't vibrate at the same rate as
Got a
the
layer
rest
of cardboard under the saddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no way to even describe how much I fucking hate under saddle.
Yeah.
I hate.
Well,
them.
even having a guitar that's settled and sounding great, and you go and change the strings on it, and the saddle comes out, and you put it back in, and it sounds completely different.
Yeah, it's not seated anymore.
Well, and the piezo element, which is in the form of
expanded.
a wire, has moved.
Yeah, or expanded.
Yeah.
If it's LR bags, it's rubber. So
No, it's wire.
Well, it's a wire in rubber. So you can take that thing and tie it in a knot. And it comes right back out. It's
you
rubber.
can, but it's a piece of wire.
Yeah,
it's a shielded piece of wire.
But it's encased in rubber. So what happens to those things is that when you compress them, the rubber is what makes the LR bags under saddle sound so good. Is because it has a material around it that can compress, and you're not putting sharp, hard edges right on the piezo like a Fishman, which is a piece of wire. braided wire with a braided, silver braided cover over it. So, but even the bags, if you take the compression off of it, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get it the same way again. You may get it good, but it will not be the same way as when you set it up the first time and fought to get every string the same volume. It will never be that fucking
and
way
fiddled
again.
with the saddle and fiddled with the slot.
There's just no way. I can't do it anymore. And I've gone, K&K and SGI pickups. If you want a warmer, fatter, larger diameter piezo, SGI is the way to go. They're exactly the same. Hi-Fi, the bags Hi-Fi is similar.
Yeah.
Those don't come out. They do install with double-sided tape, which is a bit troublesome to me because they don't have the connection to the wood that the other sensor types have. But they're designed for that.
Yeah.
Right?
And they are the adhesive the double-sided adhesive that bags use. It's pretty staunch.
Yeah. It's like cement.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's not your average.
And it doesn't damage the wood.
No, it doesn't petrify the wood.
It doesn't petrify the wood like crazy glue does,
Yeah.
right? But we don't care about that because these sensors sound so good, you never take them out.
Yeah.
Why would you ever take them out?
Now, what do you lose? You lose volume control on the guitar, tone control that you don't get when you've got a preamp built right into the guitar.
But that's why I use an amp.
Yeah.
Because the preamps in the Fishman there's no onboard system that has the power of the Fishman EQ and preamp.
Well, you've got a parametric preamp
there.
Yeah,
exactly.
You've got a phase switch there. You've got effects
and a feedback filter.
Yeah.
Everything is right there. So there's nothing you could put in a guitar that can possibly have the capabilities of that amplifier.
Mm-hmm. But you have to carry around an amplifier.
I don't give a shit.
And set
guess
it up
what
behind
else?
you and all
Guess
that.
what else?
What?
I can hear myself like a bastard through that thing.
Yeah. Because you don't take any guitar in your wedge.
No,
you're getting it all from behind you.
And that sound that I've created through that EQ and all those things is what the sound guy is getting.
Because that's got the Fishman.
We're
pointing at the loud box sitting right there.
Yeah.
It's got a direct out, which is a nice.
But not just a direct, a post EQ direct.
Yeah.
See, many amplifiers, and I have one over there, I believe, which is another one of my favorite amps, just because I love the sound of it.
But it's pre-EQ.
Is the AC60 Roland. I used one of those for years before Fishman came out. That was my amp of choice. But
the Cube 60.
The AC60. It was a specific. It's an acoustic guitar amp. But the out is you have two choices. You have double quarter inch out stereo, because it's a stereo amplifier, right? A stereo chorus, it has stereo everything. Or you just don't do two lines and plug. The out is a quarter inch. Actually, it might be a XLR now, but it's still just one. If you just want mono, you plug in the left, and that's it. And it's not. I don't even know if it's post EQ. So that's a problem, right? I will take that out and use it because I just love the sound of it to me on stage.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's old, man. You won't believe. I bought that from Red One in Quebec.
Okay.
They've been discontinued for fucking 15 years, and Red One had one in the box. Don't even know why, but I bought it. It's like send it. I couldn't believe it, right? And it's over there. It's sitting on top of my AER, like the big boy AERs over there too. Like I love my amps, but doesn't matter what comes along. The Fishman is the only one in my car.
Yeah, it's convenient.
Can't help it. So that was a big rant. But amps are important, and all these things are important, right?
Hamps.
Hamps are important.
Hamps.
Terry Poirier says, I'm still in Kentucky, experienced 2 months worth of rain 4 days for the last week over 8 inches. Jesus. That sucks. I don't know who this is. Oh, somebody from Montana calling me.
Okay.
Should we answer it?
Well, you could.
I don't think so. I don't
All right.
know anybody in Montana. Or do I?
Could be spoofing something.
Yeah, it's probably a spammer.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gina. So Jules Pitts says, I installed a K&K in my Guild D50 and the low end sounds muddy. Again, the K&K is not a miracle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's designed to be put through a preamp with an EQ.
Yeah.
The preamp doesn't mean anything. There has to be some kind of EQ in between you and the sound man, or you, whatever. But
Or the soundman has to know what the hell he's doing.
right, so you have to have an EQ, and that's why I use the amp. If it's muddy, I just turn
Okay.
it.
If you haven't glued them in, if you've used the double-sided tape, if you've done the install yourself,
That's gonna be muddy.
A, that could be the reason it's muddy. But
Yep.
B, if you've taped it in, take it off, put the pickup closer to right under the saddle, and it could, you might be too far off the saddle.
Yeah,
That could do it
true.
too. Yeah.
You're getting too much of the middle
You're
of
just
the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's glued in, if you can get it off and put it back on without destroying it, then same thing. Go closer to the saddle. The closer to the saddle you get, the more immediate the sound you're going to get.
So James N mentioned what I talked to you, what we said today. He says a Journey makes a pickup like K&K, and it's absolutely true. It is, and they do sound good. They're bigger than K&K, the same way SGI is.
Yeah.
I don't know if the quality control is as good as SGI. Probably not, because Roger's a maniac about
Stickler.
that stuff. But Journey, same idea. They're a fatter sounding pickup, but you got to make sure that they're okay. They're the pickup, the cabin jacks are not good on those things. They're cheap Chinese cabin jacks. I know that Roger, when he's designing these things with the people in China, because they all come from China, all the piezos come from there. He had to have this company use proper jacks, right?
Yeah.
That actually stand the test of time
Yeah.
and actually work and conduct everything they need to do. So, yeah, Journey, you'll have a hard time finding anything bad about Journey pickups. It's the same idea, just a different size piezo and a different construction than K&K or SGI or any of these things, right? So Jim Waller's going to super chat. He says Taylor now has a presentation series guitars that are over 12,000, and Waller's in the States, so he's talking about American money. What the fudge? I love my old ones, but they have lost their minds. Thoughts? They have. The Taylors are no longer the guitar they used to be, and I don't care who thinks otherwise.
And you don't see them out there as much as you used to either.
Are you kidding me? They're everywhere.
Are they?
Oh God!
Well,
every store.
I don't see them as often.
The problem with that is that they're all the same, and they all sound like crap.
I see the stuff in the MI stores, but like out in the performing world and the
Oh
working
no,
world,
that's what. Yeah,
you don't see
that's
them as
true.
much.
That's true because they don't sound good.
Yeah.
They've made this switch to. They've always doubled down on whatever idea they have at the time that licks somebody's arse in the industry. I hate to say that, but it's true. When they switched from Fishman,
How's that again?
When they switched from Fishman over to Neve,
Yeah.
they wouldn't back off of that. And I called them and said, I was endorsed. I said, I can't play these guitars, man. Are you crazy? The fucking thing sounds like a sound hole pickup. Yeah, but we want to work with Rupert Neve. I said, well, what about the guys that are playing these guitars on you send me these $7,000 instruments, custom made. I can't play them. They're no good to me on stage.
Well, and it's harder for you because you're not in a band. The Taylors I see played like in industry, they're in a band and you never hear them.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting to.
We'll get to it.
The Neve thing was one of the things that I quit playing them. And then when they started to make this new design, right? When you play all those guitars, they're identical. They all sound like shit, and they all sound the same. There's not one of them that sounds different than the other. They all have the same neutral tone that has no life, no projection, and that's why they've done it. They're like, we don't need, we want these guitars played in Nashville superstar bands that have no rhythm guitar. Like there's no guitar even in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're for. They're just fucking placeholders. And it pisses me. I don't care. Pisses me off because Taylor was one of the greatest guitar builders ever on this planet. And they sold out. They sold out to the market. And they stopped building these great guitars that I played all my life, that Dan Crary played, that Kathy Mattea, but there's so many people.
Yeah, they made great sound
that
guitars.
played great Taylors, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we want to experiment with this, and we want to do that, and we want to do this, and we don't care who we alienate. This is what we're building. Well, boys, they must be doing something right, obviously, because they're fucking selling about 1 million guitars a year.
Yeah.
But they're selling them to people who aren't
different strums for different chums.
They're not asking for what they should. If they knew what those guitars sounded like 25 years ago, they wouldn't play them now.
Different strums for different
It's true.
chums.
It's fucking true. 8. So and I'm sorry, but that's my opinion.
Rant complete.
My opinion. I'm a huge Taylor fan, but I'm not a fan of what they do now. So. Oh, we're just about down to the question.
That's fast. That one's fast.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's 3 minutes to show in. Blow me. Stop.
You can't say that.
Whoops. Whoopsie. Had a little slip up there. Yeah, well, it's all because of you talking about Con. Like you were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my
in
fault.
High school playing. You were playing the trombone. Bone. You didn't.
I
like
never
that.
played the trombone.
You didn't like that, so you went over to the cockinet. And that didn't work out either, so you switched to the xylophone.
You're so
and the piccolo.
Well, you played the blue vein piccolo.
Sorry,
right.
boys. Well,
all right.
Well, the
fire's getting low.
Yeah, the Christian.
Yeah.
The Christian.
We've lost her.
Yeah, we've lost the whole church now. All right. The rusty trombone.
See, you've unleashed the hounds.
All right. The question is, what year did Con start business? You know the answer to this, right?
Did they start business?
Yeah. When did they start? Did they start? Come on, you gotta know.
Yeah, I do know.
All right. We gotta find out now. You better look it up. I can't look it up.
I told you earlier.
Yeah, you did.
All right. Somebody should just tell us.
Yeah. What year did Con? I don't even know they were. Everything, instrument, whatever. Tuners.
Everybody's rushing to their Google machine.
There's a lot of dates coming in here.
Yeah. What do you got? I'll tell you when it's right.
I don't know. Can you show me what?
It's like.
You're gonna have to tell me. I got like 50 answers here. Can you show me what it was?
No, because I can't even find it. But here, I'm going to show you.
Ow! Arthritis is killing me. What?
Something like that, or somewhere around there. Is that the answer you're getting?
Holy shit!
What are you getting?
None of that.
Oh, okay. Well, anybody else can Google it, just the same way I did.
Boys, I expect you to know your shit, not just be blathering in the wind about. I'm too drunk to type.
Here. I told you.
Holy shit.
I told you that was it.
Okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Look.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything close to that.
It is. Which one is it?
Well, either one will do.
No, we have to know. Okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we don't have it yet.
Okay.
We still don't
It's
have
crazy,
it.
eh?
Yeah, it's scary. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was that long ago. But that's when they started. They started building musical instruments back then. And we still don't have an answer. I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that was that long ago.
It was that long ago.
So they did start making
They
music.
came out with the first one of those in 1930s,
yeah,
38.
Yeah, so they were making musical instruments first.
Before the turn of the century.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We still don't have an answer.
They were making your flesh bone before.
If we don't get an answer soon, I'm just going to give... Oh, wait a minute now.
Oh.
There's more.
Oh.
4 AD.
480.
Oh, well... Okay, so Stephen Baker got it first.
Really?
We'll accept 1860. What was it now? 18. Where the hell did he go? There's so many people. Holy Jesus. Okay, just a minute now. 18. What was it?
75.
1875.
Yeah.
So we'll accept 75 or 76.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephen Baker had 1876, but he's already on the list.
Yeah.
So the next person to get close there is Mark Smith.
Yeah, he's not on the list.
You're on the list, buddy. Mark Smith. He had 1876.
Nice.
We will accept that. You're number 14, buddy. That was a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
This had multi-purpose written all over it. So there you go, boys and girls.
There it was.
There it was gone. And we love you. And let's play music. There's going to be some...
Hopefully Ginger will be back next week to...
That would be
Battery,
you know,
80%.
That would be a fucking help because we suck by
There's
ourselves.
number 9.
We suck by ourselves like pretty badly. We just
Unless Mom is here, we're really don't have a direction to go in.
not much.
You know,
We just don't really know what we're doing actually. We pretend to, but we don't actually know.
well, cheers. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Love you guys. We'll
Stay
see you
safe.
next week on String Theory.
Yeah.
String Theory.
Strange.
We were enjoying this right now.
I'm going to continue enjoying this right now. Yes, son.